This is a CBS2 News Update. I'm Chris Wragge. Good morning. Chopper 2 over breaking news in Westchester County. Police are responding to shots fired at Westchester Medical Center in Valhalla. We are told the situation is under control and there is no immediate danger. As standard protocol, the hospital is on lockdown. CBS2's Tony Aiello is on the scene, and we're expecting an update from police shortly, and we will stream that live on CBSNewYork.com at that point, so stay tuned. Cleanup is underway this morning after a strong storm slammed the tri-state area last night on Long Island. High winds toppled trees onto cars and into homes, and in Queens, heavy rains flooded streets and sidewalks, water rising all the way up to the doors of some cars. Also in Queens, 3 people were struck by lightning, including 2 men who were hit while playing soccer in Flushing Meadows Park. Lightning is also to blame for a house fire in Medford, Long Island, and a lightning strike at an LIRR substation in New Hyde Park caused signal issues there last night and this morning. Now, we could see more storms later today. John Elliott is in the Weather Center with your forecast. John?
Boy, Chris, that video, that car driving to... Don't do that. You know, that is just, it's going to, you wreck the car that way. And then also just a quick follow-up. These guys that were hit by lightning, my heart breaks for them, and, you know, thoughts and prayers. But if you hear thunder, you got to get out of there. And there's another round this afternoon. Sunny and 83 right now. That's the 11 o'clock observation out of the park. And here's what it looks like outside right now. And right now it's just hazy sun. We're going to see those heat index values again above 95. The front is still well north and west. It's just the heat and humidity and all the instability that gives us this 10 to 20% chance of a severe storm. The odds that you'll see some rain greater than that, but that you'll see those gusty winds and rainfall rates capable of producing flooding, yeah, about 10 to 20%. And you can see, you know, there's not a lot of activity. Some of the storms may miss us, but we have to leave it in the forecast. Watch this line coming in a little later. That looks like it wants to hold together, so it might be a blessing in the sense that it's overnight. You lose the bulk of the heat and also won't impact the area as much. And then Thursday, we're going to leave the chance of a stray shower in the mix, but I think the risk for severe weather would be later this afternoon and then overnight. And then it's still hot to wrap up the week, but not quite as hot. With a little less humidity, it'll feel a little bit better, but stay safe today. Chris?
Okay, John, thanks so much. An upstate congressman has been indicted on securities fraud charges. The charges relate to alleged insider trading from a biotech company where Representative Chris Collins served on the board of directors. Prosecutors say Collins used inside information to make stock trades. Collins' son and the father of his son's fiancée have also been charged with conspiracy and wire fraud. The congressman represents the 27th District of New York near Buffalo and Rochester, and he has denied any wrongdoing. A massive search is underway in Camden, New Jersey, after 2 undercover police officers were shot while sitting in their unmarked vehicle. It happened around 8:30 last night after a car stopped at a red light. Between 10 and 25 shots were fired in what police are calling an ambush attack. The male and female officers were taken to the hospital with what authorities believe are non-life-threatening injuries. One was shot in the hand, the other was shot in the arm. Police now confirm that 2 bodies have been recovered from the Ramapo Lake in New Jersey. A call to police came in around 6 o'clock last night. Dive teams responded, and at around 10, they recovered the body of an 18-year-old man. Authorities say he may have died trying to rescue another teenage girl. Police say the 2 victims had been with a larger group swimming in the lake, though swimming is prohibited there. This afternoon, the New York City Council will vote on capping the number of rideshare vehicles driving around the city. Companies like Uber and Lyft are against it, but taxi and livery drivers support setting those limits. CBS2's Jenna DeAngelis reports.
One thing many agree on, city streets are crowded with cars. Increasing congestion has the council considering a cap on the number of for-hire vehicles. Companies like Uber and Lyft pushing back through commercials and social media.
If the New York City Council gets its way, all of this could disappear.
We would like a little bit more time just to sit down and talk to the council about this because this whole process is moving so fast.
Going full speed ahead today, City Council planning to vote on several proposals to cap the number of for-hire cars. It wants to conduct a year-long study on the impact these companies have, during that time, freezing new licenses, something the New York Taxi Workers Alliance has been campaigning for.
There is absolutely no reason beyond corporate greed for why there would be no cap on the number of vehicles.
Tuesday, families of cab drivers who have taken their own lives held a rally, saying a surge in rideshare cars has increased the financial burden yellow taxi drivers face.
To make less money, pay the bill, So that's why he committed suicide.
Instead of a car cap, ride-sharing companies want comprehensive congestion pricing that applies not just to their cars, but also public transit and personal cars, which require state approval.
The more Ubers, the more Lyfts, it's better for the consumer. Should be less expensive because you have more rides to choose from. So I think it's also going to hurt the consumer if this legislation were to pass.
While ride-sharing companies want more time to discuss the matter, the City Council says it still plans to vote today. At City Hall, Jenna DeAngelis, CBS 2 News.
And today's vote is scheduled for 1:30 this afternoon. Well, today the New Jersey Transit Board will vote on an operating budget for fiscal year 2019. The board is considering a budget of more than $2.3 billion and almost $1.5 billion in capital improvements. It comes as commuters and state lawmakers are lashing out against NJ Transit over ongoing service problems.
This summer, they just keep canceling trains, and there's no plan. Number one problem, they're not telling the riders.
I mean, it's just frustrating, and the pricing has continued to go up, but the quality of service has not.
The agency has blamed a number of the cancellations on unplanned absences by engineers, along with work implementing the federally mandated positive train control system. Well, the government star witness returns to the stand today in Norman Seabrook's corruption retrial. Seabrook is the former head of the city's correction officers union. He's accused of taking a $60,000 bribe to invest $20 million in union pension money in a hedge fund. Now, Jonah Recknitz claims he bribed Seabrook. Yesterday, he testified about spreading money around to acquire powerful friends. Seabrook's first trial ended with a hung jury back in November. Now to the search for a man wanted for slashing a woman in Brooklyn. The victim says she moved to New York City from Haiti with her family, hoping for a better life. She spoke with CBS2's Jessica Layton.
And all my family, my husband, everybody was sad.
Marie Jean-Pierre comforts her 9-year-old daughter, who is still distraught over the slash wound her mom suffered.
It was bleeding a lot.
At the hands of a man no one in the family had ever even seen. But now, with a 4-inch long gash on her cheek, she can't get the image of him out of her head.
I feel like something just like a slash me sharp on my face. And I touched it. I say, oh my God, I scream.
It happened around 11:30 Monday night near Linden Boulevard and Rockaway Parkway in Brooklyn, mere feet from Brookdale Hospital, where the wife and mother of 2 has worked as a patient care technician for years. She was just leaving that job when that stranger came up from behind her and randomly attacked her. In fact, it was her own co-workers here at that hospital that treated her for that slash wound to her face. But now the 44-year-old says she's afraid to go back to work. In fact, she's afraid to go anywhere alone at all.
No, I'm really scared. Before I go to work, I always pray. When I come back to work, I always pray.
Now, as she recovers at home, her prayers are that someone recognizes the man whose surprised-looking face was caught on a nearby surveillance camera, so she and her family can have some peace again. In the Prospect Park South section of Brooklyn, Jessica Layton, CBS 2 News.
A community building event in the Bronx had a special meeting this year. Members of the NYPD spent last night in the Belmont section where Lysandro Jr. Guzman Feliz was murdered. It was part of the National Night Out Against Crime, an effort to strengthen relationships between police and the communities they patrol. The NYPD commissioner says that partnership helped investigators quickly solve Jr.'s murder.
Thank you for your help on this case. Without your help and your immediate response, I think justice for Junior would have taken a while longer.
Similar events were held across the tri-state area last night. New York State will provide low-cost electricity to nearly 24 businesses, nonprofits, and other organizations around the state. They include the new Amazon Fulfillment Center on Staten Island, due to open this fall. The cheaper power is in exchange for creating or retaining jobs. It's being awarded through a program known as Recharge NY. Low-cost hydropower is used as an economic development incentive. Hey, Delta is trying out some new food service for economy passengers on some international flights. It's offering restaurant-style 3-course meals. They include a sparkling drink, appetizer, main course, and dessert, served on real plates with real napkins. That's instead of the single tray of food that's usually served. It's being tested on flights between Portland, Oregon, and Tokyo, and there is no extra charge. Well, police in Sanford, Florida got some help from a herd of cows as they tried to track down a suspected car thief.
If you see the large group of cows, they're literally following her and chasing her.
A woman who was riding in a stolen SUV took off on foot Monday after the vehicle crashed. Police say Jennifer Kaufman tried to run for it, but was chased by a herd of about 20 cows. The cows made it easy for a police helicopter to follow her movements, and deputies soon placed Kaufman under arrest, cuffed and stuffed. 2 other suspects were also arrested nearby. That is your CBS 2 News Update. I'm Chris Wragge. Please join me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, @Chris Wragge, and we'll talk there. Bye-bye.